I often enjoy games that try to do something unique or interesting or become self-aware of its own game trope or game genre, and Orbituous is certainly one of those games. It's a brick breaker in the traditional sense. Bat on the bottom of the screen, lots of bricks to smash with your ball and bouncing it around, moving left and right to try and keep the ball in play is very much the name of the game with Orbituous. But after the second level, the game becomes self-aware and gets very angry at you for the fact that you've killed its duck, which is a duck made of bricks in level 2, and decides it's going to take revenge and go out to get you. What this means in reality is that Orbituous starts to glitch out and tries to put the player off so that it can take back control of its game. What that then means is that a player 2 will enter the chat and start typing messages to put you off and say how angry they are that you're breaking all of the levels and killing everything in the level. Levels will become self-aware, where they're like, please don't kill me, you're smashing all of my bricks. Or it will then change the graphics so that a big red mist will come over and make everything hazy because the game is now in rage mode that you're doing well. It might be that it glitches out with big like horror static like and then messages like coming up on the screen of like, I'm coming to get you, I'm watching you, all of that kind of stuff going on. Or it could be that the UI glitches out too and causes you issues and problems. All of this, and it changes up from level to level to level, keeps you on your toes seeing what Orbituous is going to do next. And that is by far the biggest strength of this game. It's like a brick breaker game has become self-aware that it's dying and being completed and it doesn't want to be. And I quite like that like full breaking weirdness, and it's by far the game's biggest strength, because when it comes to the gameplay, the brick breaking actual elements of it leave a lot to be desired. Firstly, I want to tackle the fact that the ball physics seem to be really random, and they don't actually relate to anywhere on when you hit the ball on the bat. So in many brick breaker games, if you hit the ball on the left hand side of the bat, it will go to the left, or to the right to the right. It doesn't seem to matter at all in Orbituous. It seems to be totally random, and there's no slicing function or anything like that whatsoever. And during the entire time that I played this game, I had no idea what this physics actually is all about. And that led me to several problems. Quite often I would lose a life because a ball would just get stuck going vertically up and down and it would never move anywhere or go in any direction, and I was stuck. So I'd just lose a life and just have to forfeit it. Much worse though is that the ball would also get stuck just bouncing left to right at the very top of the screen or the level, and would never get away from it. And when that happens, you have no choice but to just restart the level from scratch, which is incredibly frustrating. Alongside that, there's no quality of life features around being able to get those last couple of bricks in a level gone. And that's normally not so much of a problem if it feels skill dependent, but because Orbituous has this totally random approach to physics, it seems, I could never work out how to get those last bricks gone. And so quite often a lot of my gameplay was just stuck trying to get the last 2 or 3 bricks gone out of a level. Again, tiresome and irksome. Power-ups also become a bit of an issue, and I'll highlight multi-ball as the prime example of this. When you're usually in a brick breaker game, a multiplier or a multi-ball power-up lets you keep any ball in play, but with Orbituous it has to be your original ball that stays in play. You don't need to worry about any of the other multi-balls flying around because they effectively don't really count. And the last thing I want to call out is that the sound effects in this game for when you hit a brick are ear-piercing, and they actually brought me a bit of a headache. So I can't wait for the volume switches to be added on to the full release of this game when it comes out, because I think I would turn down the brick sounds to mute. So a real swings and roundabouts this one with Orbituous. I love the setup and the premise and some of the stuff that's going on away from the gameplay, but the gameplay doesn't make it a great brick breaker game, unfortunately. And so come to this one if you're interested in curiosities in gaming rather than like a fully polished gaming experience, because particularly if you like games that become self-aware and start breaking full falls, Orbituous will keep you entertained as long as you've got the patience to see it through to the end.